How is it going, people? Tonight, Real Madrid will be playing Chelsea in the Champions League quarterfinal second leg. The nerves are kicking in, feeling the early jitters of the match, and it's an exciting feeling, really. Not feeling as confident as the early days of the week, but we still have the definitive advantage uh, going into the match 3-1, but it's only a two-goal lead. We will need to be careful not to be so swept away. With the confidence of this lead, Chelsea will be playing with three at the back. They will have some changes in their formation and their personnel tonight. Tuchel won't be making the same mistakes twice, so we shouldn't be expecting the same kind of match we saw in the first leg. It will be a really tough test for our team, and we will be hopefully coming out of this test with a semi-final place in the making. And Real Madrid will be playing a 4-3-3 on paper, but I think Valverde will play as the fourth midfielder, and he will be tucking in into that midfield, helping out Carvajal, going out on the counter when needed. We have Nacho instead of Militao in defense tonight. That's the problem, really. We will be missing the aggression from Militao. That's really important. How Because our defensive players, Nacho is the most aggressive, and Alaba is the sweeper mainly. Mendy and Carvajal aren't really as aggressive when going for the tackles, and Mendy does really clean tackles, and he is a wall when it comes to defensive duties. But Carvajal and Nacho are not really the tallest when it comes to defenders, so we will be missing out on that when it comes to the height difference, because Havertz will have a definitive advantage there. Chelsea will be playing with Thiago Silva, Christensen, and Rudiger, Kovacic, Kante, and Jorginho, or Mount most probably. And in attack, they will play with Havertz, Pulisic, and so our defense need to be on the lookout, really on the lookout that Havertz doesn't get the kind of advantage from set pieces and from the crosses that will be Chelsea will be bombarding us from the wing back positions, because Reece James will be bombarding on that position. So Vinicius needs to keep himself really sharp. So Reece James thinks twice before going for going for the overlap again and again. Our I don't think Carlo Ancelotti will be playing with the tactics too much tonight. He will be looking for a really defensively solid team. He will be keep trying to keep the defensive shape and the defensive shape really well. I don't think that we will be seeing Rodrigo and Asensio if Carlo Ancelotti doesn't decide to really surprise everyone with the change, because we were dominating them in the first leg because we had the advantage in the midfield with Valverde tucking in, and we need that advantage again. Valverde has been in fine form. We cannot say the same for Asensio and Rodrigo, and we have to keep our forwards Benzema and Vinicius relatively free of defensive duties, so they can spring surprise counters on Chelsea, and that will keep Chelsea defenders from relaxing, and Chelsea midfielders from relaxing and going on to the attack too much. We need to keep them thinking, and whenever we get the ball, we need to be looking out on the lookout for the defense splitting through passes, or the crossfield ball to Benzema or Vinicius there, and maybe Valverde can drive the ball from the defense. He has the ability. He has the pace. He can go for those bombarding runs from defense to attack in split seconds. Modric will, when we have the ball in the midfield, Modric will look to replicate the kind of fine dribbling and cross that he did against PSG in the second leg for that Benzema goal. That was a really magnificent bit of skill, and we will be hoping that Modric can replicate some of that in this match. So all in all, Real Madrid has the definitive advantage if we play it right, if we play it cool, and not make any calamitous mistakes. Inshallah, we'll be going through, and we need to be our midfield mainly. Casemiro needs to have a 10 out of 10 match because he's the defensive midfielder and he needs to help out Nacho as much as possible and Alaba too. Nacho is the weak link in defense tonight. He needs to be helped as much as possible. And for Chelsea, their fullbacks in Reece James, I think Tuchel will go with Marcos Alonso tonight. He is the most more forward-going player. He has a goal or two in him too, and he has some wicked crosses in him with Reece James and um, Alonso going forward, going on the overlaps, looking for those crosses, looking for those low crosses, cutbacks. Our fullbacks, Carvajal and Mendy, will have their hands full tonight. They will have to be really careful with those overlaps of the Chelsea fullbacks. But the advantage here is when those fullbacks will be going on the overlaps, they will leave gaps behind. When we have the ball, we have to look for Benzema and Vinicius so they can exploit those gaps in their wings and go for the jugular. If we get the first goal in, they will be heavily demoralized, and we need to really work on that because we cannot give them any encouragement that they will feel like they have a chance to get back into the tie. Really, we have to kill the tie as early as possible going into the match, and we have to keep them from going into the score sheet and giving them hope. Hopefully, our Bernabeu crowd will be onto the will be really spring our team into fine display of technical ability and really oh, and Real Madrid's goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois. Hopefully, he will be in fine form tonight and collecting those crosses from the Chelsea midfield, Chelsea fullbacks, that wingbacks that will be too close to the 6 yard box because we will need he will have to help out the defense with his with his magnificent height really tonight to collect those crosses. And now on to some transfer-related news. SC Milan are really in love with Asensio, according to some reports from coming out from Spain, and hopefully they didn't watch too much of his um, general gameplay. They only watched his goal scoring abilities, and so they keep being in love with them. There are reports that Real Madrid are willing to sell Asensio for 25 to 30 million euros. That's a really great news for us that our management are not being dumb and thinking of going for the sale to AC Milan. There are some reports that Real Madrid has conceded defeat in the race for Haaland. Manchester City has got the upper hand, and Manchester City will be signing the player. There are reports coming out, but there were contradicting reports coming out today that Real Madrid hasn't conceded defeat in the Haaland chase, and that Haaland hasn't made his decision. And so we will have to be on the lookout for the Haaland decision and the Haaland transfer this month. I think there will be a definitive answer. There will be a decision by the end or the early by the end of April or early May. And the Mbappe saga continues. No, still no concrete news. Fabrizio Romano has been saying that Mbappe will come to Real Madrid unless there is some drastic changes. And Josep Pedrerol has reiterated his conviction that there won't be any last-minute changes in Mbappe's decision, and he will play for Real Madrid next season. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a good time. See you on my next stream.